Hello, my name is Amy Brinkerhoff, and I am the coordinator for the Senior Health Insurance Assistance Program and the Senior Medicare Patrol for the Area Agency on Aging 5 County. Today I want to talk about choosing between Original Medicare and a Medicare Advantage plan. There are some pros and cons to either option, so we're just going to take a look here at a photo that kind of illustrates the difference between Original Medicare and Medicare Advantage. Now with Original Medicare, you have A, which includes your hospital, B, which is outpatient medical, durable medical equipment, home health, pretty much anything else falls under Part B. You can also choose to add a prescription drug plan, and you can choose to add a Medicare supplement if you wish. With Original Medicare, you can expect to pay the Part A deductible, and with Part B, you can expect to pay about 20% of coinsurance. Prescription drug plans can range from $13 or $14 a month up to over $100 depending on the plan you choose. Here in Utah, we have 28 prescription drug plans that you can choose from. With Medicare Supplement, those plans can range in coverage options. They can also include, they can range in price pretty drastically. We'll do another video down the road about specifically about Medigap policies and how to choose one and how to compare those. But for today, we're just gonna briefly look at it, and I'll show you where you can go to find more information about supplement policies. Medicare Advantage plans are sometimes called Part C plans, and they are like a bundled package. You have your A and B benefits like you have with traditional Medicare. They put that together with a prescription drug plan typically, and then there's usually some added benefits. Those could be vision, dental, hearing aid benefits. They could include over-the-counter drug benefits, telehealth benefits. Some plans even offer some transportation benefits and some meal reimbursement or some meal benefits. Medicare Advantage plans were allowed starting in January of 2020 they were allowed to offer an expanded array of benefits. So a lot of what you hear with Medicare Advantage plans is brand new this year. A lot of those extra benefits didn't exist before. But with Medicare, traditional Medicare A and B, there is no vision or dental at all. So if you want vision or dental, you can either find a standalone policy or you can get vision and dental through a Medicare Advantage plan. Now, when you're deciding which is better for you, a Medicare Advantage plan or Original Medicare, there are a couple of important things to keep in mind. The first one is network, provider choice. With Original Medicare, you have pretty much unlimited provider choice as long as that provider accepts Medicare. You have nationwide coverage. They allow you to pick any doctor anywhere as long as they accept Original Medicare. You have a vast array of provider choices. With a Medicare Advantage plan, these plans are typically HMO plans or PPO plans, and they typically have a limited network of doctors and hospitals. A Medicare Advantage plan can't offer a plan in an area that they don't have a network hospital. So you will at least have a network hospital in your area, but that doesn't mean you have a full array of providers to choose from. The second thing to keep in mind when you're looking at whether a Medicare Advantage plan or a Original Medicare is the best way for you is in cost. Either way, with both Original Medicare and Medicare Advantage plans, you do pay that Part B premium. That doesn't change. But most Medicare Advantage plans are relatively inexpensive. Some have no additional premium. Down here in Southwest Utah, most of our plans do have an additional premium if they have that prescription drug benefit with it. But they range between $25 and $50 a month. They're not as expensive as other options. With Original Medicare, if you decide that the costs on Original Medicare are too high and you want to add additional coverage, then you start looking into added premiums as well. For standalone prescription drug plans, those premiums can range from $13 or $14 to well over $100, just depending on the prescriptions that they cover and the structure of their plan. Medigap policies can be a great way to supplement original Medicare. They're sometimes called Medigap, Medicare supplements, or sometimes just supplement policies. Those plans help pay for the costs that you would incur on original Medicare. Now, you cannot have both a Medicare Advantage plan and a Medicare supplement plan. It's an either or. So I like to think of it as you either have this side, the option 1, or option 2. You can't have both. So as you're deciding between Medicare Advantage plans and original Medicare, again, the things to keep in mind: coverage options, provider choice, cost, and then the third thing to keep in mind is prescription coverage. With a Medicare Advantage plan, because that prescription coverage comes bundled in with your plan, you can't separate that out. There are some Medicare Advantage plans that do not offer prescription coverage, but you can't go add a standalone prescription drug plan if you opt out of that drug coverage. So those plans are good for people who have prescription coverage through a former employer or a retirement plan or through the VA. Otherwise, if you have prescription needs, you do want to make sure you have prescription coverage either as a standalone Part D or as part of your Medicare Advantage plan. But sometimes the networks and the providers or the pharmacies you have to choose from, the formularies that they use, may not meet your needs on a particular Medicare Advantage plan. So that could be one reason why you would consider original Medicare with a prescription drug plan. There are lots of different options for original Medicare, and the important thing to keep in mind is there is no one right answer for everyone. Everyone's health needs are different, everyone's prescriptions are different, everyone's budget is different. So as you're deciding, you can't rely on what's best for your neighbor, you can't rely on what Joe down the street did, you can't even necessarily rely on what your spouse did. You need to make the decisions that work based on your budget, your health needs, and your wants and how much coverage you think you need. There are a few other things I wanted to get into today. Really quickly, we're not going to go too deeply into the options for Medicare supplements, but I do just want to point out that there are a great deal of Medicare supplements available, and they range in budget, they range in coverage, and there are a few options that based on your age you may or may not be eligible for. We will do another video specifically about Medigap plans, and if you have questions and want to look at specifics for Medigap policies, please feel free to give us a call and we can help you through that. That's a more individual benefit that you would need to look at more on an individual level. And just one more quick thing. I wanted to go over some resources that can help you as you're deciding what might be better for me, Medicare Advantage plan or original Medicare. Now, the screen that I'm showing right now is just medicare.gov. And as you go into their plan finder option, your comparison tool, right there on the home screen, it's going to ask you if you're new to Medicare and if you want to learn about your coverage options. So if you're doing this, you can tell it, yes, you want to learn more about Medicare options before, and then you just put in a zip code here, and choose your county if it doesn't populate automatically. And then it's going to go kind of like what we talked about. It's going to give you original Medicare options and Medicare Advantage Plan options. You can take a look there and decide what fits your needs. And then in this same system, this is where you get a chance to put in your prescription drugs, to look at provider networks, and just decide whether original Medicare or Medicare Advantage Plan is right for you. Again, I just want to remind you that the SHIP program is here to help, and if you have questions, comments, anything that you need assistance with as you're trying to navigate this option of choosing between original Medicare and Medicare Advantage Plan, please feel free to give us a call. You can reach us at 435-673-3548. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And please, again, reach out to us if you have questions, and we would be more than happy to help. Bye.